In this video, we're going to be talking all about audience retention. What exactly is audience retention? Why does it matter so much for getting views and succeeding on YouTube? And we're going to be revealing 6 different tips for how to rank your videos higher in search and getting YouTube to actually recommend your videos.
You got to just press record.
My name is Sean Cannell, and I'm fired up to talk about how to trigger the YouTube algorithm with these 7 tips for increasing watch time, audience retention, and YouTube views. So what's the average audience retention on YouTube? Well, according to some reports, the average audience retention on YouTube is between 50 and 60%. Now, audience retention is your ability to hold someone's attention on your video. If you look at your analytics, which we will do shortly, there's sometimes the hockey stick effect where someone clicks on your video and they're gone immediately. So the question is how long can you hold attention? This is across digital platforms now. Have you ever started a Netflix show, watched a few seconds or minutes and thought, I'm not even going to commit to this, and you bailed? Well, it didn't keep your attention. If a video that you love holds your attention, you might click on it and watch it all the way into the end and watch multiple videos from that creator. And so some data revealed that if you can keep someone's attention over half of the length of your video, or even over 60%, you're doing a pretty good job. There's a couple terms we need to know, and we also need to know why audience retention is important. And here's some quotes from YouTube themselves. They've said that we've started adjusting the ranking of YouTube videos to reward engaging videos that keep viewers watching. It's not just views, because a view can just be 1 second, but a minute, that means you've held someone for 60 seconds. YouTube rewards content creators that create engaging videos. And when it comes to engagement, sure, likes are okay, comments are great, but the most significant signal is whether or not someone keeps watching your video. That's watch time. That's audience retention. They go on to say that videos with consistently high audience retention and watch time have the potential to show up more frequently in search and suggested locations. So not only is having a high audience retention going to help you rank your videos in search, it's also going to help your videos be recommended by the YouTube algorithm to new viewers. So audience retention is very important. Now, there's 2 specific terms that we need to know to understand this. And the first one is average view duration. So this, I know there's a lot of technical terms, audience retention, average view duration. Well, this is the way that YouTube kind of defines audience retention, and it's how many minutes have people watched your videos, average view duration. In the case of this video right here, this video has been viewed for 7 minutes and 3 seconds. And remember, this is on average, because of course, some people might start the video and say, this isn't what I thought it was, I'm going to bail. But some people are going to watch all the way until the end. So the total combined viewership averaged down, this video is able to hold viewers' attention for 7 minutes. Now consider this. This video is doing very well, and YouTube continues to recommend it to new people. And therefore, on average, even people that potentially don't know me or haven't seen my content before, their attention is being held for 7 minutes of time. In a world where we can barely have the attention span to scroll through Instagram or go from this thing to that thing, and we're so busy, giving your attention for 7 minutes to something is significant. Minutes matter most. I've seen stats reveal that the average view duration on YouTube is around 5 minutes. I think media kind of hovers between 4 and 5 minutes across all of our videos. So if you start getting to 7 minutes, 8, 15, and if YouTube recommends that video to new people and you're holding attention, well, then of course, they would keep showing it to even more new people because the AVD, the average view duration, is significant. The second stat is just another way of thinking about the same thing, but it's average percentage viewed. Now, let's say you had a 1-hour video. Your average view duration could be 10 minutes, but that would only be 6% or whatever. 10 minutes out of 60 minutes would only be 12% or something like that. Whereas if you had a 10-minute video and you had a 50% average percentage viewed, that means it's 5 minutes. So it's how long on average are people consuming of the entire video length. And by YouTube showing us these two stats, they're revealing to us what they care about. They're saying, hey, keep people on the platform for as many minutes as possible. And then also, if you can create videos that people are getting closer to the end of, that they're watching at least half the video, 60% of the video or higher, then this is like a 1-2 punch of audience retention that could really trigger the algorithm and cause your videos to be promoted. Now, YouTube has given us some new insights, and they're always upgrading the studio to show us things. And when you're on a specific video, you can come down to key moments and audience retention. And this chart guide is right here on a little question mark. Let me zoom in for you. And so what we can see is this is YouTube explaining what the chart means. Now, it may be self-explanatory, but this is very important. The first thing that it tells us is when the line is flat, well, the first thing it says, a percent greater than 100% may mean that people rewind and watch the sequence more than once. So if you ever wonder, why is there a spike? How could I have, or how could it go up when it was already going down? It means someone's either clicked back or clicked to that specific point. But flat is your ideal. So this video is doing very well on Think Media. And this video is not flat, but you can see it's kind of close to flat. I mean, 50% average view duration, which is great over most people, or all people that watch it average down to finishing over half of the video. And there is a gradual decline, but by the end of this video at minute 4:16, 38% of people are still watching. So it's not as aggressive. This is more aggressive on this video. But again, what it's telling us is that if you can keep it flat, that's what winning looks like. You are literally holding, keeping in mind too, the average person. Like if strangers watch the video, like they can't turn away. They got to watch the whole thing. Gradual decline, the second thing that YouTube defines here, means viewers are losing a bit of attention over time. So then you're saying, okay, how can I decrease the slope? And I've got 6 tips for you in a second. How can I make the decline not as significant? Of course, what you don't want is the hockey stick effect, where it just drops, you know, really fast, kind of flattens out, and maybe only a couple percent finish the video. Next, spikes appear when more viewers are watching, rewatching, or sharing a moment or moments from a video. So spikes are these kind of, it gives us green because green is good. It's sort of these up moments where maybe people go to a part, rewind from a part. The other reason you might trigger this is because of timestamps. And we do use timestamps to let people skip through the points on certain videos, and they may get the idea and they may just kind of click through to get each timestamp. That's fine in my opinion, because I want the viewer to just be served at the highest level. I'm not trying to hold anybody hostage, you know, so if they want to click through to the points. But another thing that spikes could be just telling you is that that's a very dense part or popular part. Here's a power tip. If you've ever seen some YouTubers, and even Bo Burnham did this on his recent Netflix special, they sometimes flash something so fast, kind of like a Fight Club thing. They flash a scene or flash a word that your super fans or any fan may want to rewind and be like, and try to pause it. What was that? And that could create a higher spike of engagement at that moment. And so that would be the up. And then of course, dips mean viewers are skipping or leaving that specific part of the video. And if I click here, notice it says, here's the intro. Viewers still watching around the 30-point mark, which is this blue section. And then it says dip. And if I click the dip, it actually skips to where there is a significant drop. And naturally, that's when I'm like, well, alrighty then, leave me a comment. We'll see you later. And that's going to typically be, you don't want to necessarily let people know you're ending your video. And once they know it's gone, they start to leave, and that makes sense. So the biggest thing though is if you have dips in the middle, you want to ask yourself, what can I learn from that dip? So let's look inside of our analytics and then we'll get to our tips here. And the first thing for measuring audience retention and seeing, kind of doing a checkup from the neck up of your status is some ways to track how well you're doing. The first is channel-wide AVD. That's channel-wide average view duration. So if you start in your studio, you go to analytics, and then you go to your engagement, you can see that across all of your channel, on Think Media right here, we get 4 minutes and 12 seconds, and that's up in the last 28 days. Always trying better storytelling, hold more attention, have an increased average view duration. So that's kind of a macro metric of how are you doing on your channel. Think Media in the last 28 days got 3.2 million views. And so that's spread out across all of those views. Next is going to be the top videos in this period. And that's whatever period that you set. By default, it's 28 days. Let's just say over the last 365 days for fun in the upper right-hand corner. And then we can see these right here. These are the top videos in the last year on Think Media. Now notice two things that it shows us at a snapshot, and this really reveals what YouTube cares about the most. It says average view duration, and it gives us the total minutes and the percentage viewed, and then it gives us the views. It's like, hey, this video is getting 2 minutes and 27 seconds of average view duration, and it lets you kind of compare. And you can notice that some of these really big videos, I mean, this got over 1 million views. It keeps getting suggested to new audiences. Notice a very low percentage viewed, only 16%, but 21 minutes and 16 seconds of total minutes viewed. This is a very longer it's a longer tutorial. And so again, minutes matter most, even though that's a horrendous percentage viewed, it's an insane amount of time spent on a video. And so that is another place that you can check. So to recap, you have channel-wide AVD, average view duration. You can see the top videos in this period and be studying what's your average view duration, your average percentage viewed. Then you want to go to your top videos and you can click see more for even more data. So I'm going to go back to the last 28 days. I'm on engagement inside of YouTube Studio, and I'm going to go down to top videos and say see more. In the back end here, we can see a whole stack of videos. So it goes much more than the top 10. And it breaks down our click-through rate, our views, our average view duration is shared right here. And this is where the average is coming from, 4 minutes and 12 seconds across all these videos. And I could see, this is interesting, the average view duration on this best camera Q&A with me is an hour. It's insane. Like, that's crazy. And then you can see some that are maybe only 37 seconds or whatever. So that's another place where you can dive into your analytics a little bit deeper. And then finally, still watching at 30 seconds, and lean in for this one and hit like if you've been getting value out of this video, because again, this is going to tell us what really matters to YouTube. And so inside of your studio, under engagement, scroll down a little bit. You're going to see key moments for audience retention. And this is significant because this is showing us, out of our recent uploads, how many people are still watching at 30 seconds. This is very clear about how important the hook of your video is, right? Because they're saying if people are bailing in the first 30 seconds, like, you're in trouble. So out of our last few videos, our best video has 71% of people still watching after 30 seconds. When I hover over it, we could see that the average view duration's 5.5 minutes, and 40% of people basically consume that one. And then it drops to our worst performing is still 4 out of 10 people are still watching at 30 in the first 30 seconds. These are signals. When YouTube tells us what they're measuring, then it tells us how we should architect and craft our content to get more views and hold more attention. It also gives us the ability to actually measure if the tweaks we're making to our content, our videos, and our topics are working. And never forget, what gets measured gets improved. So I know that sometimes the data can be overwhelming, but consider studying your data, even looking at it while it feels overwhelming, because you will start to notice trends and patterns and places where you can improve your videos. If you're seeing a dip, think about, okay, how can I trim the fluff on my next video, improve the audience retention, average view duration? And the more that goes up, the more YouTube is going to spread your content throughout the internet faster than a Tesla in ludicrous mode. Let's get into the 6 tips. Tip number 1 for powering up your videos, boosting your audience retention, is craft a powerful hook. Now, I won't go into this at length because we have some great resources on this, but it's ultimately, you really need to craft those first 10, 20, 30 seconds of your video. You may notice some hooks are even going much longer. Hooks of videos are 1 minute, 2 minutes now, depending on how long the content is, but it's just thinking that as soon as the video starts, cut to the chase. Tip number 2, talk fast or faster, and use video editing. Now, hear me. This does not mean that there aren't YouTube channels that have a slower pace to them. Sometimes you might hear ASMR at a very slow and soothing pace. Sometimes there's videos that are more reflective or meditative, and that could be very effective, especially consider the viewer's intent. What is it they expect? But most people have this modern energy of just wanting the information fast. We don't want to wait around. And if we feel like there's a moment of we're not getting what we came for, then we may want to speed up to hold attention. It doesn't mean you have to be super frantic. It doesn't mean you have to be crazy, but studies have been done to actually count words per minute, and that the higher words per minute on YouTube usually holds attention better than lower words per minute. And another way to do this is with video editing. It could be as simple as you just talk at your normal pace and your normal tone, but there's a level of jump cutting that sort of cuts out the ums and the breaths. And this is a pace and a cadence that you're going to want to determine for yourself, but it's certainly a tip that could help people just stick with it because the information's coming fast enough that they do not get bored. Tip number 3, use a script or an outline. Prior planning prevents poor performance. When you start a video, you get into a video, if it's disorganized, if it's disorganized and you lose people on the journey, then that might be the moment they bounce because again, you were able to cut that part out, but you didn't really plan it out ahead. So like, that's when people lost attention. If you have a good outline, an orderly outline, a logical outline, or a good story curve or story arc, then that's going to help you hold attention. By scripting your videos ahead of time, they're going to be a lot more powerful. Number 4, trim the fluff. Man, one of the best ways you can make your content stronger, I learned from GZA from the Wu-Tang Clan. And he said, too many rappers' rhymes are mad long. Keep it brief, son, half short and twice strong. And that's the tip. You want to keep it half short and twice strong. Thank you, GZA. Thank you, the Wu-Tang. And so trim the fluff. How could you make your 10-minute video 5 minutes? How could you make your 8-minute video 6 minutes? Is there any parts in your video that are unnecessary? What can you take away? Ask yourself, is this essential to the video? Nobody watching it is going to know it's gone. They're only going to know what they see when you finally present it to them. So trim the video down, trim the fluff. And the key here is continue to post videos as you have been, but then study your audience retention curve. Study how much average view duration you're getting. See how you're holding people's attention. And if you can notice a tip or a trend from where people are always dropping off, then consider eliminating that from your video. And on your next upload, it'll be even better. Tip number 5, add visuals. One of the best ways to hold attention longer is to not just potentially monotonously just have one thing happening. You know, I'm streaming this live using StreamYard and I'm able to add visuals because of the software. This at least helps a little bit, but in post, we could make little pop-up, you know, like button things, little subscribe things, transitions, music transitions. Those types of things should not be overused, but they can help keep attention longer. And so consider adding visuals like graphics and pop-ups and extra footage called B-roll and things like that strengthen your video. And then tip number 6 out of 7 tips is use drama, conflict, open loops, and curiosity. So one of the ways you could hold attention, and even if you're going longer at this point, I'm 23 minutes into a video live streaming. One of the things I hoped to do at the beginning of the video is during the hook, I said, man, I'm sharing 7 tips. I'm going to be sharing some new features from YouTube, hopefully opening up some curiosity to make you want to be a part of more of an educational tutorial like this. In more of entertainment, you want to potentially use drama. Consider how reality TV shows start. They don't start with, again, when Kim and Khloe Kardashian are getting along, and it's like Kim and Khloe peacefully walk through a park. Nobody wants to watch that. It's like Kim throws a piece of pie across the kitchen and breaks a plate, and it's like coming up with Kardashians. Khloe, I can't believe that you did that. Ah. What do? They cut to the most dramatic part. So potentially you want to tease the drama. You want to create a little conflict on the opening. You want to create some open loops. Like maybe there's a question at the beginning, you're going to answer at the end. Maybe you're doing a tutorial and you're saying, this is what the end result is going to be. I'm going to show you how to get there. And people are like, wait a minute, how'd they achieve that result? And you unfold that throughout the video. Tip number 7 is build your personal brand and reputation. What do I mean by this? One of the things I mean by this is I want you to consider, if you're just starting on YouTube, and let me know, how many videos have you posted so far and how many subscribers do you have? If you're just starting, nobody knows you yet. I recommend, if you're just starting, keep your videos shorter, because people could get to know you speed dating. They may not want to get married yet. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a little bit of a shorter relationship up front. But once people get to know you, then there might be some pre-existing trust when it comes to your content. This is sort of the unspoken rule on YouTube. See, if you don't have a good reputation yet, your reputation is potentially just neutral. So you may have to use more B-roll or really structure your content or really edit it. To whatever degree of influence I've built, and you could let me know if I've ever added value to you, or if you've seen a past video, or how long have you been a part of the Think community. At some level, if you start to trust me and recognize that hopefully when I go live, get on camera, I bring real value that I've invested blood, sweat, and tears in, research, my experience, the Think Media team, our collective YouTube brain, all this different stuff that we work together on, that you might actually give me some forgiveness. This is why you might be like, why does this person have such good average view duration? And because people don't know you yet. But as you build your personal brand and as you build your reputation, people begin to know and trust you more, so that they may, without the fancy bells and whistles, stick with you because they know you're good for it. So the actionable point of tip number 7 is just consider giving it always your best shot to deliver quality to people. Develop a reputation, if you're a teacher or expert or author or marketer and you're kind of more education like Think Media, for being brief, being bright, being fun, and then being done. And when people say, okay, because of my past experience with you, I know that if I click on a Sean Cannell YouTube video or a Nolan Molt YouTube video or a Heather Torres YouTube video or an Omar El Tokori YouTube video, that they really have put their heart into this, it's going to probably not be a waste of my time. And that's about building, that is the bigger vision of building a personal brand and a reputation that is beyond tactics. Because a little subscriber pop-up is not going to change the game for your YouTube channel. Those tactics are good, but a strong personal brand and reputation in your industry for the promise of your channel is going to supersede those other tactics.
Want to know the exact strategies Sean Cannell and the Think Media team use to consistently get over 3.5 million views on YouTube every month? Learn the proven steps and the newest YouTube money-making strategies at Grow with Video Live's virtual conference. Get your tickets today at growwithvideolive.com.